Well, welcome to our full day 3 of the open mic tour. I got to tell you, today has been just fantastic. We started the day up in Port Angeles, had breakfast with business leaders up there, did a business walk through town where I met a lot of the people who have the small shops along Port Angeles. I've got to tell you, Port Angeles looks to me to be really coming strong right now. I've been there in times when it's been tougher, and it was really wonderful to see some of the buildings being rebuilt and some of the vitality of downtown. Met with some people on the street and talked about some of the issues that concern them. Then we headed down the road and we went down and we had lunch at Moore's Trading Post in Beaver, Washington, which was just as fun as could be. We met with the owner, we talked about their business. We sat and talked about some of the issues that confront the Olympic Peninsula, and particularly those who live near the park, and some of the challenges that we still have in some of Washington's communities that are dependent on natural resources, and how we can really try to balance that out. And I think that was just a great conversation. We then had a meeting with some of the community leaders. We had the mayor of Forks take us on a business walk through all of Forks. We did an open mic here in Forks. I think that was just a great experience. And again, there are special challenges to some of rural Washington that I think we can do a better job with. One is always going to be striking the balance between the beautiful environment in which people live here and play here, but also making sure that people can make a living here in a good and productive way. An example of that was what I saw up in Port Angeles. I went through a tour of a brand new mill up there, Port Angeles Hardwood. It was a tremendous facility, state of the art, but their number one concern is, can they get enough supply to make sure they can really get the job done of raw logs? And that is a piece of the puzzle. How do we balance that with our need to pass on to our children a wonderful environment? At the same time, an issue I heard about all day long here on the Olympic Peninsula is, how do we make sure that our veterans who live out here on the peninsula can get quality access to health care? They told stories of winding up being transported for 8 hours to get over to the hospital in Seattle. And there's some innovative proposals coming forward for how we can make those VA services more available, a program they're calling, a proposal they're calling a virtual VA. I think there's a lot of promise to proposals like that, but I'll tell you, if nothing else, you cannot help but be out here and be impressed by the quality of life, by the dedication people have here to making it work. There's been a lot of challenges, but people are working their way through it, and I am looking forward, if I get the chance, to working with people here and throughout Washington State to make sure that we have opportunity and make sure we pass on a quality life to our children. So thanks for tuning in on this day 3 of the open mic tour. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, some more work here on the peninsula, be up in Squim, meeting with some of the tribes, and doing all I can to make sure that I'm prepared to do the best job possible as your United States Senator. Thank you very much for tuning in.